Hello, everyone. Welcome to Canada's Corner. This is Greater Seattle Korean Association's interviews with candidates and also our current electeds. And, we do this because ultimately our goal is that, we want to have, when you go to vote, we should be informed and be educated on our candidates as opposed to just being a party line voter or whatever down the line. Let's get to know our candidates, and that's regardless of however they may skew. So that's very important, and we're doing this on behalf, of course, of King County Voter Education Fund. And so, with that said, we're very pleased to have with us Councilmember Sandesh Sadalge. Hello,
Yes.
Welcome to Canada's
you.
Corner. Yeah, for sure. So, Councilmember Sadalge is part of Tacoma City Council Position 4, and I'll let him speak to that in a little bit more detail. But, we are, Korean Association, we're based here in Tukwila, King County, but again, we do have rights, just to confirm that, we can get coverage anywhere, Snohomish, King, and Pierce County too. And also really quickly, it's not an endorsement, but really just to get to know Councilmember Sadalge and his vision for City of Tacoma. So perhaps, and also, sorry, just to confirm, although Councilmember Sadalge is currently Tacoma City Council Position 4, he is looking to retain his seat this year. Is it correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, Councilmember Sadalge, perhaps you could just maybe walk us through your personal background and professional background to start?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you, Sam, for having me.
Yeah, of course.
I'm really glad to be here. So my name is Sandesh Sadalge. I was born in India. I was born in Mumbai, India. I was 6 years old when my parents came to America. They moved to New York City. So I grew up in New York City from the age of 6 until 39. And then the New York City area. I was in northern New Jersey right before I came to Tacoma.
I just got back from Fort Lee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Not that far away. I was in Rutherford.
Okay.
I'm very well aware of it. I came to Tacoma due to a business opportunity as an I was an investor and operator of a company out here. But I was in New York City. I went to a math and science high school. I have a degree in math. I was in finance. I worked at Bloomberg LP. I worked a lot of corporate jobs. I came out here. I did 20 years of data analytics and set up data analytics teams in several companies. And then I came to Tacoma. I am a council member then today because, first of all, I was appointed about a little over a year ago because the person who's in this seat, her name was Catherine Ushka. She passed away while she was in office. And around the same time that Catherine passed away, my own mother passed away. She had cancer and she passed away. And after my mother passed away, I wanted to do something really meaningful. Something purposeful. My mother reminded me that we come from a family of farmers in rural India, and we had a deep responsibility to work with people and for our village. And I wanted to just do something a little more meaningful instead of making rich people richer, which I'd done for a long time.
Sure. Thank you for taking us through some of your history. So with that said, with your fintech background and why jump into, so you touched upon it. Thank you for sharing about your mother. It's very touching, but why specifically Tacoma City Council? Yeah.
Yeah. Quite frankly, growing up in New York and in the Northeast, my view of politics was that it's kind of a corrupt enterprise, that people get into politics because it's a family thing, right? And you have to have influence. During the pandemic, I got involved in some local neighborhood things because of my predecessor. And I saw that in Tacoma, there was real opportunity to work with the city government and really get something really good done because we were able to get some improvements. We didn't solve, we didn't do world peace, but we were able to get some small improvements in our neighborhood, and that, said, hey,
one step at a time.
Exactly.
Yeah. Great, thank you, Councilmember Sadalge. And then we do have some questions that some of our viewers wanted to ask, and so we selected a few. So if you don't mind, I'll just read them out.
Yeah.
So, let's dive into public safety a little bit. So, Councilmember Sandesh, Tacoma has faced challenges balancing public safety and community trust. What specific strategies do you believe the city should adopt to both reduce crime and rebuild confidence between law enforcement and the communities they serve?
Sure.
Yeah.
One of the number one things I hear in Tacoma around community safety is response times. One of the reasons why we have really long response times is we've been very short-staffed for a very long time. I was a supporter of a lateral incentive program. We've hired, by the end of this year, we're hiring 20 additional experienced officers, 4 rookies. 24 in such a short time is amazing. That will help with response time. Another thing is we also have done what's called alternative response. These are community service officers. They can go out to help fill out insurance paperwork. They can do some, they can direct some traffic. Those are really important for 2 reasons. One, it's responsiveness to community. Number two, they give hours back to our patrol to actually do patrol. But police can only go so far. We also need to understand that there are some jobs that the police really aren't in the best place to address. So we've also invested in what's called designated crisis responders and our HOPE team. And these are mental health professionals who can come out when someone's having a mental health issue and deal with that. Lastly, when it comes to safety in general, it's more than just police, because the best way we can be safe is to get it way up front, right? Prevention, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of medicine, right?
Yeah.
So we've also invested in our reducing violence in our youth. We're also investing in better public infrastructure. Some people feel unsafe because they don't have sidewalks, they don't have safe roads. That's all really important in community safety.
I see. I wanted to clarify about your mental health initiative. So, pardon me. To clarify, is that so? These are services for the officers.
So
yeah,
when an officer goes out and someone is having a mental health issue, you can call a designated crisis responder who actually is a medical professional who can come and deal with that. Our HOPE team has mental health trained professionals that come out too. The last thing with community safety, I have an international district in my district, the Lincoln International District. They'd never really spoken to our police. I helped arrange business owners who were, somewhat skeptical of seeing a uniform come in, especially at this time, and really increase that trust and like, hey, Tacoma PD isn't here to deport you. Tacoma PD is here to understand what your issues are on the ground.
I see. Okay, great. Can we talk a little bit about affordable housing now? I think, when you talk about the cost of living and housing, it's pretty much, I think it's safe to say that it's pretty much affected all of Puget Sound.
Everything.
Not just King County, not just Snohomish, but, Pierce County very much as well, and Tacoma. And so a lot of people are scratching their heads. It's getting tougher and tougher, as we know, every day. As consumers, we feel the sting too, know. And so do you have any ideas, or does the council have any solutions as to, are there any kind of points of alleviation we can do to help?
I have good news.
The pressure, I mean,
I have good news.
Tell it like it is,
The good news is we've recognized this. It's taken a long time. The state passed a bill. It's called HB 1110. I'm not sure if a lot of people understand it. It's contentious. I am in support of it. What it basically does is it forces every municipality to remove what's called single-family exclusive zoning. In areas that you could have built 2 or 3 homes.
Okay.
It required a single family exclusive. You could only build 1. Okay. So that was artificially limiting the number of houses.
I see.
Why is that important? I was the first council member to ask a very simple question when I came on. I said, I know there aren't enough homes, and that is the number one reason why affordability is out of reach, because there aren't enough homes to buy.
Purely supply and demand.
Supply and demand,
okay.
right?
Okay.
So I asked a simple question: how many more homes does Tacoma need? And the answer is, at the end of 2023, where we have the most amount of information, somewhere between 5,000 and 8,000 homes behind That is about 10 years of building at our old pace. So we needed to increase that pace. One way to do it is to allow 2 and 3 family homes and small little buildings to be built in certain areas. And we did that in Tacoma in February 1st as part of it. And I'm proud of one other thing that I did. I actually wrote the amendment that said, hey, if we're going to start building these 4, 6, or 8 plexes in neighborhoods, in certain neighborhoods, as long as you have your utilities and everything, what do I do to incentivize them being made into home ownership units, condos rather than rentals?
Okay.
Because home ownership leads to generational wealth and just wealth building. I wrote the first incentive that ensures that a developer only gets it if they sell to a person and not a corporation. That was the hardest part of this incentive, was because prior to this, every time this was tried, corporations would use those incentives, buy them, convert them to rentals. We figured out a way around that, around ownership, occupancy requirements.
Okay.
And so I'm really proud we got that. I'm working with our development community to try to get more homes in and to make them be home ownership. City of Tacoma is down to 56% home ownership rate. We need more opportunities. And these smaller
Councilmember, 56%, that's average or lower than average?
The state as a whole is about 65, 66%.
Interesting. Okay. So
and the country as a whole is about that much.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. And these new units that would be in 4 plexes, 6 plexes, 8 plexes, or 12 plexes, this can actually really help elderly people who are stuck in their homes that don't want to take care of their or can't take care of their yards or don't have kids at home. And it also helps that first rung of young professionals that are coming in and looking to buy.
I see.
I'm really hoping to encourage that type of building in Tacoma, because ultimately the lack of housing in Tacoma makes every single thing we do as a city harder. It makes our homeless services harder. It makes police services, fire services, every major thing that we try to do is made harder because there's not enough room for everybody.
Okay, got it. Thank you. And then finally, I want to speak to, because we're a Korean association, but recently we're doing much more, outreach to outside of our own ethnicity, to all different backgrounds and all different cultures. And, it's been such a great experience, because we're finding that, there's way more similarities than differences. And so Tacoma and Pierce County is and a perfect example of that, a place where it's very, very extremely diverse ethnically. And, we, as also being AH, NHPI, and members of color, communities of color, how can you ensure that there's opportunity for us to continue to be represented and have a voice? Yeah.
That's a great question. Yeah. I didn't even think about the barrier I felt before I even tried to apply, in thinking, well, I've never seen someone that looks like me in any leadership position in a municipality.
Yeah.
And how could I even be there? So it's important to, one, recognize that we need to make spaces available. In the city of Tacoma, we have what's called committees, boards, and commissions. These are advisory bodies that help shape policy for us. I was on one. My predecessor put me on the planning commission. I spent a year on that. I kind of understood things like how to look at policy. And I'm committed, and I've already done it. Those are all appointments through the city council.
I see.
And so we get applications, we interview people, and I've been committed, and I'm very proud that I've been able to put several members on these committees, boards, and commissions that have an Asian background of some sort.
Okay.
As well as other backgrounds, because we have to reflect our community in these committees, boards, and commissions.
Sure, I see. I just want to dovetail on that a little bit. So we're coming up on a very important time. As we know, the ballots for the general elections have already been mailed out. People are already starting to vote. And then just as a reminder, the due date is November 4th. So it's an important time. Having said that, like a lot of my friends and people that I know, when I ask them, like, did you vote? And they'll say, well, no, not really. And I said, well, why not? And it's because 9 times out of 10, they're like, well, my vote doesn't really matter. And so I think about that, and it's like, you know what? That's a shame.
That is a shame.
Yeah. Our country fought for this right to have these freedoms. It's what makes us Americans, and it's the core of our democracy. And so having to try to explain that to people that I know is often very, very challenging. So maybe perhaps could you give a word of encouragement as to why, whether you're AA and HPR or whatever, or perhaps even the young generation, why is it important to vote and get out there and have a voice? Yeah.
I get this statement a lot, and I think for a very long time I was exactly like that person, where it feels like my vote doesn't matter. And I understand how that might be true on like a federal or even a state level. But I'm going to tell you, the most important vote you have is the vote for your community. So your city, and below your county, your city, school board, those votes, I mean, some of those elections are just a few people. And that vote matters when you do it on a very local level. And those local policies affect you on a day in and day out basis.
Yeah.
If you vote for person A versus B, I don't know who, but that could be the difference of getting a road fixed, or getting another policy that you want done. So I always encourage people to vote and vote locally. You don't have to vote for everyone. I encourage everyone to vote for every single one that you see. Yeah. But those local ones are so important for your day-to-day lives.
Thank you very much. Once again, Councilmember Sadalge, thank you so much. Me. Yes, of course. Everybody, this is Councilmember Sandesh Sadalge. He is a Tacoma City Council member currently, position 4. And then really quickly, where does position 4 kind of...
Position 4 is most of the east side of Tacoma, and then the Lincoln District, South Bend area.
Lincoln District. Okay, great. And, he is looking to retain his seat. So those of you in that district, again, our most important message to you is to please go out there and cast your ballot and go out there and vote. So lastly, do you have like a website you'd like to share, or yeah?
I have a website, alexsadalge.com. Okay. I put it together myself 7 months ago. I have a very lean campaign.
Gotcha. Get to the point.
Yeah. My socials have a few more things, and people can always just email me.
Okay, amazing. Shall we give a shout out to Tacoma District 4?
Tacoma District 4.
Let's go. Thank you so much. Bye.